This channel, Crayon Capital, has pulled in over 16 million views from just 24 videos, and one single video did 4.1 million on its own. Every video does the same simple thing. It takes something most people find boring or confusing, the 2008 crash, the Wolf of Wall Street scam, Bitcoin, and it explains it like you're 5 in hand-drawn crayon animation. But here's the thing, this channel uses real animators that cost thousands of dollars, and I've been quietly looking for a way to recreate their videos with AI. I finally found it, and the best part, I did it with almost free tools. And if you saw my last video, you know exactly where this is going. A few days ago, I showed you how to turn NotebookLM into a faceless video engine, and you loved it. Today, I'm showing you an advanced workflow nobody is teaching to create this type of animation video. Let's get into it, starting with NotebookLM. And real quick, because a lot of you are going to want this, everything I'm about to show you, the exact prompts, the full step-by-step, and the custom Google Flow app I built to generate these animations, I'm giving all of it away. If you want it, just comment the words Google Flow down below and I'll send you the link. That's it. Comment Google Flow and it's yours. Now let's get into it. Once you're in NotebookLM, click on Create New. When the page loads, add the link to the channel here. Go to the channel, copy the channel link, paste it here, then click the blue arrow to load it. Once it loads, paste in the next prompt. This prompt asks NotebookLM to do an in-depth analysis of the Crayon Capital channel and identify the hook structure, the pattern, and what works in the video so we understand exactly what to do. At this stage, it's important to note that this is purely an analysis or research phase. We are not copying the channel. The goal is to identify what the channel is doing that works so we can apply those principles to our own videos. Then submit it. NotebookLM completes the analysis and gives us the pattern it identified, the title pattern, the provocative history hypothesis, and also the visual representation, the video length, the audience, and the type of videos. But it also mentions a limitation here. It doesn't know the exact hook structure or pacing because I only gave it the link to the channel. To solve that, I went back to the channel, sorted by popular, copied the links to the most popular videos, and added them here in NotebookLM. Next, I'll ask it to do another analysis so we can capture that part of the analysis properly. You'll also notice that NotebookLM now has a couple of suggestions here you can use for even deeper analysis. For example, you can see a suggestion like, do research online to find the transcript of the video. You can also ask, which video topic correlates with higher subscriber growth? That's pretty impressive. But in this case, we'll ask it to do a more in-depth analysis based on the videos we've attached. Now it has completed the in-depth analysis, and on the side you can see a detailed breakdown of what's happening on the channel, including the hook format, tone, structure, and emotional arc. This is really solid. You can download it, share it, or use it however you want, but the analysis is now ready for us. The next step is to create our video titles and script. I'll paste this prompt asking it to generate viral titles for us to choose from, and from there we'll move on to writing the script. It gave us a couple of titles to choose from. As you can see, some of these are topics even I haven't heard about, but I want to create a video specifically about Rockefeller. So we'll go with the last title, Rockefeller, the first confirmed billionaire explained like you're 5. This is the one I'm going with. I've already typed the next prompt, asking it to write a 1-minute script for me while making sure it follows the viral format. Of course, the 1-minute script is just an example. You can absolutely create a longer script if you want. It's also important to mention that when you're writing historical stories, instead of using only these videos as references, you can also pull references from historical archives, Wikipedia, and other well-known sources, then add them here so the story stays factual. One of the common criticisms of AI channels is that people don't do proper research. So if you're going to create this type of video, make sure you do the research properly. Now that we have our script, the next step is to generate the images for it. In my previous video, I broke down how to use NotebookLM to generate your image prompt as well as your video prompt. We won't be doing that in this video because I'll be showing you a much better way to do it using the next Google tool, Google Flow. So after copying this, go into Google Flow and click on New Project. When you click on New Project, this blank page will open. From here, go to Tools. Under Discover, I found a tool called Storyboard Studio. When I opened it, I noticed it had a storyboard header that lets you choose the style of animation you want, along with the use of assets and storyboards. But after going through it, I found it pretty basic and I wanted something that would give us a better workflow without any guessing. So I rebuilt this tool specifically for that. So this time I'll go to my tools and open the tool I created called Zinny Studio Storyboard. By the way, I'll be sharing this tool. If you want it, comment the word Google Flow in the comment section and I'll send the prompts, the steps, as well as the link to this particular app. I can share it so you can use it in your own account. Once you're in here, the first thing you'll notice is that it's different from the previous application I showed you. This version includes scripts, access, storyboard, animate, and a timeline. I'll also explain the other things I've built into this app to support the workflow. Before you start using it, the first thing to do, which doesn't exist in the basic app, is click on the 3 dots. At the bottom, you'll see Project Settings. Click that, then choose the models you want to use for your image generation, as well as your video. For the image generation, I'll choose Nano Banana Pro. For the video generation, you can choose whichever model you want to use. For the sake of this tutorial, I'll use OmniFlash and click on Done. The next thing I'll do is select the animation style for this project. If you click on the drop-down, you'll notice there are more animation options than what you get in the basic application. I've added more so you have additional options to test, especially if you're trying to create a different animation style from the one we're making today. I've also done a much more extensive build for creating your custom style. Because the type of animation we want to create is very unique, we'll click on Create Custom Style. Here, I'm going to enter 2D since this is a 2D cartoon animation. Then in this field, you'll paste the description of the animation. To get the exact animation description, you can take a screen grab of an image from the channel and have NotebookLM or ChatGPT or Claude describe it for you. For this example, I'll also include this description in the document I'll be sharing so you'll know the exact style this animation uses. I've also built this so you have the ability to upload your own reference image. I'll scroll down and upload the reference image now. When you're uploading your reference image, it's important that any text is clearly visible in your screen grab so the system can capture the style or the font of the text being used. Then go ahead and click on Save Style. Now that we've done that, let's start working on the script. I've already pasted in the script we'll be using, and I've also included a specific instruction because this is using the Gemini agent. I told it that this is a narration script, but we do not want the narrator included as part of the asset. Then we'll submit it, and it will break the script down into the format it needs to generate the asset, move into the storyboard, animate it, and eventually export it. As you can see, it has broken everything down and given us the asset list. You can see the characters, the props, and the locations. Next, we'll go over to Assets. Click on Asset, and you can see that it has already listed everything it's going to create, including the characters, the locations, and the props that will be generated. Then click on Autofill, and it will begin generating the images. We'll wait for that to finish, and then I'll show you the results before generating the other assets we need. As you can see, all the images have now been generated. They look really stunning and match the exact aesthetic and style we're going for. If you want to view anything larger, click on it and open the full-size version. You can see it looks really good. Another thing to notice is that it captured the text exactly from the reference image as well. If you want to make any changes, click into the image, and on the side, as you can see, it tells you the name of the character. On the side panel, you can see the character details, including the name, clothing, and backstory. One important feature I added to this app is the edit button. When you click it, you can tweak the exact prompt used to generate that specific image. Now we'll cancel that. With the asset ready, the next step is to generate the storyboard. Click on Storyboard, and as you can see, it's broken down into roughly 8 scenes with multiple shots. Next, click on Autofill Scene. Based on the scene being created, it will pull assets from the asset page to maintain consistency across the storyboard. I'll let this generate, then show you the result. While this is generating, there's something very important to mention. If you want to save this project, click on the 3 ellipses and select Save Story. It will download to your computer as a JSON file. This matters because if you close the app, it will not save your work natively. It will wipe everything out. The JSON file allows you to retrieve your project whenever you want to use it again. To reopen it, go back to the 3 ellipses, click Open Story, select the JSON file, and the project will load again. That's why this is so important. Do not refresh any page. And don't leave without at least saving a copy of your project. Now the storyboard has finished generating. As you can see, everything looks consistent and very good. If you want to make changes, click on any of the images. It opens this page, gives you a breakdown, shows the reference assets, and lets you make changes to your prompts. The next step is to begin animating each of these. In the animation section, you can see that all the frames are already aligned exactly the way we want them, from top to bottom. When you click into it, it opens this page. This page gives you the option to make changes if you want something different, but I'll go ahead and click Animate and wait for it to process. It's important to note that you can't animate multiple items at once. You have to wait for each animation to finish one after the other. If you try to animate another one while this is happening, you won't be able to do that. As you can see, this one is done generating. You can click here to expand it and see what it's doing. If you're wondering how to make changes or tweak your prompt tweaker is right here. You can adjust it to define exactly what you want. But for now, I'll go ahead and generate all of these. As this happens, you'll see a check mark here, and in the timeline, the clips will begin arranging themselves in sequence. After the clips finish arranging themselves, I'll show you how it works. When we play it, it will move from one sequence to the next. And when you're happy with everything, click Export Sequence. It will be exported as a single MP4 file. If you're wondering why it exports as a single MP4 and why you can't just download the individual clips directly, I'm going to show you where to download the individual clips. For that, click on All Media. Before you do that, make sure you have saved your project, or this sandbox will clear out. When you click All Medias, it will open all the media and show you everything you have. Let me refresh so you can see everything that has been generated, including your images, your videos, and the rest. Now let's quickly go back. While the animation is still generating, we'll move to the next step, which is generating the voiceover. For this, we are using ElevenLabs. You can use any tool you prefer. Inside ElevenLabs, I'm using text-to-speech. I've already pasted the script here, selected a voice that sounds very natural, and I'm using ElevenLabs V3. You can choose any model you prefer, then generate. It sounds really good, so I'll click download and save it to my computer. While that's happening, the next step is to start assembling the clips that have already been generated inside CapCut, so we can make any necessary cuts and put everything together. Now everything has finished generating, as you can see in the timeline. The timeline is designed so you can view all the clips arranged at the bottom and play through them from start to finish. When you're happy with it, you can click export. But in this video, I'll be downloading all the clips individually so we can assemble them in CapCut. Here in CapCut, I've already imported the voiceover and all the video clips as you can see here. The first thing to do is place your voiceover at the base, then listen through it. As you listen, take the specific shots and place them where you want them, making adjustments as needed. I'm doing it this way because in some places you may need to reduce the speed or trim certain parts to make sure everything matches the voiceover. After you've finished putting everything together, as you can see here, click export and save it to the location of your choice. Let's quickly play it so you can see how the video turned out.
John D. Rockefeller was born in 1839 to a struggling family, the son of a traveling con man who sold fake cures and disappeared for months at a time. From the very beginning, young John learned to count every penny. As a boy, he kept a small ledger tracking every cent he earned and spent, a habit he'd keep for the rest of his life. At 16, he took his first job as a bookkeeper, earning almost nothing. But he was patient, disciplined, and relentless. By his early 20s, he saw something most people missed. Everyone was rushing to drill for oil, gambling everything on striking it rich. Rockefeller didn't drill. Instead, he focused on refining the oil, the part of the business that was steady and essential, no matter who got lucky in the ground. In 1870, he founded Standard Oil. And here's where his genius turned ruthless. He cut deals with railroads, undercut competitors on price, and when rivals were on the edge, he bought them out. One by one, he absorbed nearly every refinery in America. At his peak, Standard Oil controlled around 90% of the oil in the entire country. He became the richest man in modern history.
The last thing we need to do is generate the thumbnail. To do that, go back to NotebookLM and ask it to give you an image prompt based off of the script you wrote for the main character, in this case, Rockefeller. It will generate that prompt, and then you come back to Google Flow and paste the prompt here. After pasting the prompt, look for the character of Rockefeller. I'll be using this one and I'll drag it into that space. When I drag it into that space, I'll click on Submit and it will generate the image you can use for your thumbnail, just like the images I have here. And that's the entire workflow. You just watched me take a channel that pulls millions of views with real animators and rebuild the whole look with AI using NotebookLM and a custom Google Flow app for almost nothing. If this helped you, do me a favor and give it a like so more builders find it. And like I said, if you want everything I used to make this, the prompts, the steps, and the app itself, comment the words Google Flow down below and I'll send you the link. Now, if you want to go further than a single video, this is exactly what we do every week inside Accelerate. It's my community of faceless builders. We jump on weekly calls together. We break down channels like Crayon Capital bit by bit. We share the automations and AI workflows that are actually working right now, and we build our channels alongside each other, not as students, as builders. So if you've been trying to do this on your own and feeling stuck, that's the room for you. The link to join is in the description. Come build with us. I'll see you in the next one.